Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Because I think
I haven't had that issue with Caucasian men. Sex was never brought up. They just wanted to just love on me. And I mean, to the point where like, I dated this one guy and he would pick my food up from the table and carry it to my car. He would hold the door for me. When I got in the car, he would close the door.
I think that's just lovely that she found her white knight in shining armor. You know? That's a lot of these black bras. Fantasy, man. A lot of you don't realize programming. A lot of these black women, they were programmed for this, for their white knight. A lot of black women are Disney babies. Okay, Cinderella babies. They wanted to be white. And even this lady right here, she has her natural thing going. But you can tell, look at the void and the emptiness in her eyes. She don't even have no real pupils. She's the definition, the best definition of white programming. Her white knight in shining armor. Chivalry and being a gentleman or being courteous or just being loving towards someone that you're, of your affection. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you a sucker. That doesn't make you particularly such a good goddamn representation of manhood or just a person on the other side, because a lot of times it's all just an act. We're all just playing a role. And she mentioned that they don't want sex, but that, see, what they don't realize, a lot of black women don't realize that there are factions of white men who are effectively sterile and docile because they don't have the sexual prowess. That's one thing to consider. Now that's not a sweeping generalization, but there is a faction of white men who just don't feel, whether naturally or just life has made them that way, as to where they just don't feel that sexual prowess or have that sexual prowess that a black man will think he has or actually have. And so that keeps them from being so feral in their instincts and feral in their behaviors. They just want the companionship of a woman. And a black woman, look, in her purest, most beautiful form, there is no better representation of femininity and beauty than the black woman. Now, I love all women, but there is nothing like there's nothing like a black woman. Nothing. I'm sorry. Chocolate black woman at that. A nice red bone, a nice chocolate. There is nothing in her purest and highest and most exceptional form. There's nothing better than a black woman. And shit, white men can appreciate that. There's a fetish for that. And I'm not saying that there can't be true love there. I'm not saying there can't be true love there, but and again, this is all under the premise of mind your own damn business. Who am I? I don't care. This is just good conversation, good fodder. So let me preface that. Shit, this is just people. Everybody gets on here and talks. So I'm gonna get up here and talk, and I'm gonna give my opinion. I'm just a guy with opinions. I don't have no dog in the fight. I got me a black woman for one thing, and she likes my black ass. and she, I tease her, or joke with her about a white man, and I don't know, most black women that the again those high representation of black women that I'm talking about, they would never even think about being a white man. No, even if there are the exceptionally good looking white men out there, the Channing Tatums out there who kind of those kind of guys who kind of cross the barriers. There are guys in every representation of race that are just that will cross lines of beauty, of vanity, of attractiveness, right? They're, white women, women of all hues and races will probably appreciate a guy like, the old school, at this point, he's old school, Denzel. He's universally attractive to women, right? You got, um, there's a few, what's the dude? Probably the guy from, speaking of Cinderella, the one that was in the Cinderella movie with Brandy. He's Asian but universally attractive. I've seen in women's circles, right? White dude, maybe Brad Pitt. I don't know. He's kind of a niche thing. Well, I mean, he's kind of right there, but Channing Tatum is one guy that comes to mind that black women seem to love. He kind of got his little swag about him. Maybe Justin Timberlake, maybe The Rock, who kind of totes between different. He's kind of ambiguity in his race. You got those guys. I mean, by and large, black woman, she gonna want her a black man. A real black woman. This one, look at her, man. Look at the space in her eyes. She is. That white programming has worked on her. Okay? And you just have to and let her be. She's lost. She's lost. She's not for you. It's not for you to get mad at. And people, this is up on the internet for discussion. For opinion, but no judgment. If you love your white master, more power to you, sister. He's gonna love your natural hair ass. Rub his hands through it, and y'all can both smell like outdoors wet puppies and rams all you want. And you can not shave your armpits and all that. But and as I get older, the hair on women, I get more appreciative of that. I can dig, especially down below. I remember the old school cats, my pops, and the old school cats talk about the debate between having hair and not having hair. Back then I was like, man, shit, I like it bald down there. Grew a little older. I like the landing strip. Got a little older, and man, I found myself. I'm like my old man, like the other old cats, man. Shit, I don't mind a little hair down there now. Shit, lets me know I'm with a woman. How that relates to her, what we talking about, I don't know. But she probably is hairy down there, and white men been loving that. They've been loving that hair. Yeah. So she mesmerized by the white gravy train. I don't like white gravy. I like brown gravy. She's on the white gravy train, and more power to her. She is cute though, shit. But she ain't never run into a nigga that. She ain't never run into a nigga that got game, exceptional game, and is a gentleman. See, never in my life have I ever seen a female I can't have, because when you combine your God-given, appointed black nigga spirit of a king, and you a gentleman, and you're educated, you know, I call that being a Mac, a man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge. I got game upon game, with some charm and some knowledge, just being me, but it's a developed and aspirational, developed version of who I've always wanted to be. I tell people all the time, right now at this moment, and I'll say this at every moment that will continue to evolve, or that will continue to occur. I am now the version that I've always prayed to be. And then I'll get to another version, and that will be the version that I've always prayed to be. And that version is someone with game, the game that only us melanated people have. And then just, some experiences from life, picking up things, being someone who's never stagnant in my education, stagnant in my growth, my development. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's looking for, and she don't even know it. So a step up in her development, as she feels unwittingly, is that a white man would fulfill that for her. And so far, she's got a glimmer of a hope of that. But notice how she said she once had. She doesn't have that now. So what happened? That's the question. What happened? They came and they went. Did they keep her? No, they probably fetishized her for a moment and moved on. Or she probably revealed the shortcomings that would even make her think that it's okay to single out and exclude black men to the exclusivity of a white man. And that has nothing to do with race. It just has to do with nature. She longs for a real gamed up Mac, a black man. That's what she longs for, and she doesn't even realize it. Or she may realize it and she's suppressing it. That's what's going on with her. And you can see the void in her eyes. She doesn't even really truly believe what she's saying. Look at her. Let's analyze this girl a little bit more. Her speech.
Wanted to just love on me. And I mean, to the point where like I dated this one guy and he would pick my food up from the table and carry it to my car. He would hold the door for me. When I got in the car, he would close the door. He would get on his side, like.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Because I think
I haven't had that issue with Caucasian men.
Okay, so again, notice how she's talking about what they're doing for her. Real love is about everybody that's participating in this love, typically two people, has a common goal for each other as a partnership, as a collective that will inevitably enhance each life individually. She's talking about what that guy has done for her. I don't hear any hint of reciprocity. I hear a hint of, again, novelty and fascination with the fact that he did this for me. He just wants to love on me and rub on my feet. Wow. That's fetishes. That's fetishizing. It's fantasizing and fetishizing this experience. Magnetizing it and making it more than what it is. Okay? You can pay someone to rub your feet and take your food out to the car and open your door. That's called a concierge. It's called a valet. It's called a door person. It's called a butler. If that's what you want, and that's what a lot of women seem to want, is a butler and a motherfucking trick. That's what y'all want, women, is butlers and tricks. If that's what you want. It's a lot of these niggas that will be that. They might not come out as corny or as square as a white dude, but it's a lot of butlers and tricks. So don't just make white men out to be the only butlers and tricks. But I thought you wanted love. These hoes don't want no love, man. These hoes don't want no love. But there's some women out there. I do defend the women, the real women. There are women looking out there for love. But you gotta be real with yourself, you know. And you know, that was the value of Kevin Samuels. I know he was a controversial figure. A lot of the criticism I see is from people who never really watched him, and he was just all about self-awareness and self-accountability. So I could definitely agree with that, and that's what this boils down to: self-awareness and self-accountability, and a duty to service above and beyond yourself. That's what this boils down to. This girl is lost, bless her heart, and you know, if she wants her white knight in shining armor, shit, more power to her. Again, ain't nobody kept her, so that's the goal, right? To be kept. Anyway, signing out, it's your buddy, your pal, your friend, your teacher, your guide, ABW. Signing out. Sayonara.